Oh, my love. Yeah, I'm the girl, the girl, the guy, my day. That's so exciting. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Ow, I just scratched myself. If you are new here, my name is Ailidh, and if you're not, hello, welcome back. Welcome back. We have a cool little video. I'm gonna say little because we're talking about some deep stuff here. Like some really deep stuff. I mean, if you're not prepared for this video, go prepare yourself. Because today we're doing like a crash dummy, well, not a dummy course, but we're doing like a dark romance for beginners course. Let's say you are trying to expand your romance genre and want to dive into a bit of the dark side. Hi, I'm Ailidh. I'm your girl. I love dark romance. I think we all know that I am a dark romance girly. I love my morally grey guys. I love my psychopaths. I love just like, it's a bit of me. Not in real life, God, no. Stay away from me in real life. We don't want those enemies to lovers. I don't think I would ever want an enemies to lovers trope in real life. I think I would actually be terrified if that happened. Like, I don't particularly want someone to kill me or like want to kill me, and I don't want to kill anybody. No. Yeah. But in a book, oh, so good. So good. I love an obsessed, dominant, growly, like growl, eye darkening, snarl type of man. I love reading it. I do. And if you want to dive into this world, then I have a few book recommendations for you. Wow, that was such a long intro. That was way too long. Anyway, the way I've kind of like mentally planned this video, we'll see if it goes that way, is there's going to be a few books I'm going to tell you to start you off, see if you like it. It's not really dark romance, but it's on the verge of being dark romance. Give those books a try first, and then we'll creep on to more of the, you know, those ones where you have to be prepared for it. But first off, dark romance is not a, what's the word? Something to take lightly. Like this, let's keep in mind that everything that happens in like a dark romance book is fiction. It's made up, it's not real. Please read the trigger warnings for literally every single dark romance book you're going to go into. I know some people read the trigger warnings just to see if they want to read the book. I mean, you can do that if you want. If you know what you like and you like what to read, then go ahead, read the trigger warnings. But please read the trigger warnings. Be cautious, but also be open-minded if you're wanting to dive into this. It's not quite an easy genre. I know a lot of people don't like this genre because there can be a lot of toxicity within it, and there's a lot of like bad traits and things in the real world we don't particularly want happening, but in a book, like, it's fine. Just please be careful. Please also look at the age restrictions as well. I think all dark romances are 18 and above, so if you're not over 18, yeah, just, you know, maybe wait. I don't really know what to say, but yeah, definitely with all of these books I'm going to recommend read the trigger warnings, because there are definitely things that happen in this book that are not for everyone. So let's take that on accord. Now I've got the boring stuff out of the way, let's dive into the first series I'm going to recommend. If you want like a little taste, it's not an actual dark romance book. I'm going to say it's a book series. Most of these are series. Yeah, this first series is like, if you're like new, this is a beginner's video. We are not diving into the extreme stuff first. If you are here because you want to give it a go and you haven't read any dark romance books yet, then I would definitely say, if you haven't already, read this series first. If you've already read this series, then good for you. I loved this series, and I was already into my dark romance era when I read this series, but if you want to give it a taste, give it a try, because some of the tropes that happen in a lot of books are in this series. Not everything, but like, it's definitely good, and that is the Twisted series. I mean, we've got Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. Like, this whole series is really good if you're wanting to sort of dive into some of the tropes that happen in dark romance books. I mean, there are definitely some morally grey characters in here. Not every single book has a morally grey character, but in every single book, like, something happens, whether it's stalking or it's really spicy, or there is actually a morally grey guy in this, and like, I love him. I love him. There is also a lot of talk about like murder as well, but I would say the Twisty series is a really good place to start. Each one of the books is about a different couple, so it's not boring. I mean, you're still seeing each of the couples in each of the books, and you're kind of following along in the whole of this group of girls. I think they met in college. Yeah. And you're following them and their significant others and just like pretty much everything that goes on. I would definitely say this is a really good series to start off with. Give it a taste. And if you don't like this and you don't like some of the traits and the tropes and the like some of the stuff that is said in here, then girl, I don't think dark romance is for you. I don't think you should dive in. I think you should stick with the stuff you do like. But if you like this, then we can dive in a little further. But there's also one other, I'm gonna actually put them there so that you can see them. There's also one other series that, this is like a normal romance series, but I also have a fantasy, like Greek mythology series that is really good, and this is like one of the series that got me into reading and also got me into my dark romance, which is the Touch of Darkness series. I love these books. Again, I wouldn't like class this as dark romance books. These are definitely fantasy books. They have, it's Persephone and Hades modern retelling love story, but again, there are definitely themes of dark romance in here. And if you're more of a fantasy person, like you don't really like really romance that happens in here, and you want something a little bit more like intense, well, it's not really that intense, but something a little bit more like fairy. It's not really fairies because these are Greek gods in here. Greek gods. And like battle and like that sort of stuff in here. Again, this is a really good series. This is definitely a spicy series. All of these books I'm showing, they are all spicy. They are all, yeah, they're not light at all. But the Touch of Darkness series is still really, really good. This series isn't complete yet. There is still one other book coming out. This is Persephone's perspective, but there's also Hades's perspective as well that you can read. And yeah, again, great series. More fantasy, Greek mythology. You're gonna love that, Greek mythology. But yeah, again, if you don't like this series, then, well, if you don't like this, not like the series, but if you don't like some of the tropes that happen in the series, again, probably dark romance isn't for you. But definitely give one of these a try, or both of them a try. They're both good. These are both 5-star series for me. So yeah, I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. I just did these, didn't I? I had to charge my camera. That was not good. Anyway, moving on to the books now that are technically classed as dark romance, but I think they would be classed more as you're beginning. You're like these books, though, this book series, I would say, is like your first dive into an actual dark romance book, and that is the Never After series. These are the 2 books that I have currently read in that series, which is Hooked and Scarred, but there is also 3 more books that are there, which I have Wretched, Twisted and Crossed. They're all over there. They are to be read, they haven't been read, but these are the 2 that I have read. And let's just say I absolutely love this series. I love Emily McIntyre's writing. I think it's just so easy to read, and also like the dark romance elements. These are all retold like fairy tale stories. So Hooked is a Peter Pan retelling, and Scarred is the Lion King retelling. Both of them much darker. I wouldn't say they follow the original stories, but they do definitely have like the familiar characters and like the same elements of those fairy tale things, just with a darker twist. So yeah, I would say this series is really good. If like you liked these and you want to go more into dark romance, then definitely start off with this series. Give it a go. Again, each of the books in this series are a different couple. It's in a different world. completely different, but all like have the same sort of plotline elements. Just, they're all just so entertaining and good. So I would say this is another great series to just try. And if this is all you can take, then I would say stick with stuff like this, with stuff that is a dark but is like mild dark romance. I wouldn't say go anything else more extreme than this if you like, this is like wow to you, like big. But I have more, and I'm now going to go on to some stuff that I read on my Kindle. If you definitely do want to get into dark romances, I would say getting yourself a Kindle is a great option, because a lot of the books are actually on Kindle Unlimited. I have Kindle Unlimited and I absolutely love it. I also love the fact that if I'm reading a dark romance book, especially in public, like nobody can see what I'm reading or what's going on in here, because like look how pretty it is. I think people are just gonna like look at my stickers and like, oh, that's so cute. Like it is so cute, it's so great. But I have a few options from Kindle Unlimited. You can also get a paperback if you prefer paperback anyway and you're not a Kindle person, but if you are a Kindle person, these are some books that are on Kindle Unlimited that you definitely should try. And I would say the next series, another series that you can give a try, is the Perfectly Imperfect series. I love this series. This is such a great series. Again, it is a 9-book series, but each of the books are only like just over 200 pages long. They're quite short, and also they are all about different characters, just that all the characters are in the same world and they're all somehow linked together. It is also a mafia series, so we've got those mafia elements in there, but again, I would say like this is going slowly into the more dramatic side of dark romance, but not quite there yet. There's definitely some books that are more. I would say if you liked the Never After series and you wanted something that is a little bit more juicy, or like you like that and you kind of want to stay there then but want to try like something else that's not fantasy or not like based on that, then I think the Perfectly Imperfect series is still really good, because it's such an easy read. Like I've read so many of these books in one sitting because it hasn't taken me that long, and I just needed something that will like spice up my reading, and that has definitely given it to me. I've only read the first 4 or 5, I believe. I don't actually know. What number is this one? I've read the first 4. I've read first 4. I still have like 5 more to go. But so far I'm absolutely loving it. And yeah, I love a mafia romance. The second one is my favourite one. It just is. And again, if you like, if you read the series and that is all that you can take, then you kind of know where your limit is, which is probably on the first like half of dark romance. I wouldn't say don't venture on to more, because there are definitely more extreme ones that you don't want to try out. But another good series as well, if you're looking for like still mild, still got a little bit more of like a psychopath energy to it, is the Mindfuck series. Now this series is one of my favorites. It is a 5-star series for me. Again, it's a 5-book series, but all of the books are like 100 pages long, so you could read this series as like one book. I think there is an option to buy the 1 to 5 books in like one book. I read it on Kindle and I'm so glad that I did. You can read it in like back to back, or I read it in between other books when I had time to. But this is a serial killer and FBI agent, the serial killer actually being the woman and the FBI agent being the man. This has obviously got a little bit more graphic scenes to it, so just be cautious with that. It is definitely so good. I loved it so much. I love a good serial killer book, and this one definitely hit. It's not the worst thing that I've ever read, but it's definitely like, read the trigger warnings because it does give details. It does give some details to things. But yeah, I would say like it's definitely the Imperfectly Imperfect series and the Mindfuck series are somewhere like in the middle of dark romances, like the easy ones and not so darky. Darky's not even a word now. So I would say like the Never After series is really good, and if you want to move on and try something else, then I would say the Imperfectly Imperfect series, and then if you really like that and you want to move on, then I would say the Mindfuck series. Then you try doing that one. But I would say if like that's kind of your thing, that's probably like the first half of like it, and then like once if the Mindfuck series is something you're like, I need more, then you're getting into the more extreme bits where it's like, defo read trigger warnings, defo be cautious, defo be open-minded, and just you go girl. If you want more, that's so exciting. But again, this is where I would say like you've got to be a little bit more cautious with everything. So I would say if the Mindfuck series is, you're like, oh, we're getting somewhere now, then I would say read the Legacy of God series. I'm currently reading this series and I absolutely love it. It is college rivals. Again, it is a 6-book series. I think there might be a 7th, I'm not quite sure. At the moment, it's a 6-book series, and each of the books, again, is about a different couple, but they're all in the same world. Enemies to lovers, psychopaths, like fights and just spice and just everything that you can possibly think of in a dark romance is pretty much in these books. These are really spicy books as well. There are definitely some elements in these books that are not for the light-hearted. That's why I'm putting it in the more extreme versions of things. But yeah, if you like the Mindfuck series and you want more, the Legacy of God series is so good. Like God of Malice, first chapter, oh, it does not disappoint. It does not disappoint. But I absolutely love this series. It is, again, one of my favorites, and it always gets me out of a slump. I always pick up one of these books when I need like something to remind me why I love reading, and I come back to this series and I absolutely love it. I know that there are other books about the parents that came out first that you could read. I haven't read those books. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have it on the screen, but this series here came out before and it's about their parents, so you could read that if you wanted to read more of the backstory of the parents, because they do come into the books, like usually towards the end of the books they jump to their POVs, which I absolutely love. But I haven't read them and I don't think you need to read them to understand where everything is, because we're following a different generation, like we're following different characters, and I love every single one of these books. I'm absolutely loving God of Fury, which I'm currently reading, and I'm like, but yeah, if you liked the Mindfuck series and you want more, Legacy of Gods, I would say, is really, really good. Now, another 5-star read for me. This book had me shocked all throughout, and I mean it takes a lot to shock me, but Butcher and Blackbird. This book was a 5-star for me. I absolutely loved this book. I loved that it is about 2 psychopaths. They have a competition with each other, and I just, again, with all the tropes and all the elements that are going into this book are just so good. Like, it was so spicy and it was fun. It was also really funny as well. Like, I would kind of class it as a dark rom-com sort of thing. But yeah, I think I would say, like, because of some of the elements are more intense, like it does tackle more disturbing things. Also, it is very graphic as well. Like, this book does not disappoint at all. And if you guys really liked this book and you want more, the last series, I'm going to say in my order of books, the last series, I'll say, if you liked Butcher and Blackbird and you want something else, then I would say the Cat and Mouse series, Haunting and Hunting Ageline. As you can tell, I love these books because of how much, like, I actually annotated these. Like, look at all my little things. They are clear, but I read this series in 48 hours? No, it was probably 24 hours actually. I read this series. I devoured this series. It is a series I want to reread. It is a series that I can't stop thinking about. It literally had everything and more. But please be careful with this series. Definitely, again, trigger warnings. I mean, like, trigger warnings for this, because even though this is a dark romance, it also has a lot of touchy subjects in this that is definitely not for everyone. It definitely tackles more of the darker world and can be a bit intense, can be a bit much sometimes. Again, it's got really graphic scenes, really spicy scenes, and really shocking scenes, and just everything. Just think of everything. I swear, like, these books do not disappoint. They are one of my favourite books and are the top books I recommend to any dark romance reader. And even if you are a dark romance reader, I still say read the trigger warnings, be cautious, be open-minded, just be careful when you read stuff like this, because if you absolutely love this, then I think you will love any dark romance book. I think if you read this and you actually love this, then my girl, my guy, my dude, my babe, you're a dark romance person. You are. But yeah, I think once you've hit this and you've read this, and if you love this, then I say you can pick up any dark romance book. There are definitely some dark romance books though that I have read and I haven't actually liked and haven't enjoyed. Like, there was a few, like one book I read and I was a little bit confused about what was happening, what was going. So not every single dark romance book is good. It's like every single book, but also like so many people have different opinions about books. So yeah, that is my little timeline. I will insert like a little thing here where from like giving a try to Bob's your uncle. But I hope this video helps and gives you some sort of ideas of where to start, what to try. I mean, I haven't read a ton of dark romance books. I'm probably like, I've read barely any really, and I've kind of stuck to the series that I know and the stuff that I see online. But this is my personal opinion. This is what I believe is a really good start, and give it a go, give it a try. All of these books I have absolutely loved. If they've been either a 5 stars or a 4 stars, for me, I wouldn't recommend anything that I didn't like or that I don't think you should spend your time on. You should spend your time on anything that you shouldn't. I wouldn't recommend anything bad, basically, like stuff in my opinion. But again, everyone has different opinions. If you read one of these books and you don't like it, then that's fine. That's okay. We're all allowed different opinions. We're all allowed to do and say different things and stuff. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you have enjoyed it. Let me know if you want a more deeper, in-depth recommendation video. If there's like certain tropes or anything, then please let me know. But I hope this video helps you. I hope this video inspires you to dive into the dark romance world, because trust me, it's not as scary as it seems, and there is definitely a wide range of books to try, from like easy to hard to like extreme to like what the fuck is happening. There's loads, there's absolutely loads. So yeah, I hope this video has helped. I hope you have a lovely day or rest of the day or evening or morning whenever you're watching this, but I will see you guys all in the next one. Mwah. Goodbye.